Now, more disappointment, anger and sorrow for the families of the missing passengers as we are now halfway through another day with no new survivors found.
More than 72 hours have now passed since search and rescue operations began, and hopes are dimming. But families and rescuers are clinging on to the hope that the ferry, now completely submerged, may contain pockets of air that could sustain the missing.
As of now, 29 passengers have officially been confirmed dead and 273 remain missing out of the 476 passengers and crew. For the latest on the ferry sinking and other updates, we have our Connie Lee standing by in the newsroom.
Now, Connie, we heard news this morning that divers had gotten a glimpse of the inside of the hull and spotted bodies in the cabin for the first time since rescue operations began on Wednesday. What's the latest?
Well, Jinju, just a couple of hours ago, officials said divers believe that they have spotted 3 bodies through the window inside the 4th floor of the sunken ferry, or the place where the passenger cabins are. Now, divers were not actually able to get inside the ship early this morning because they couldn't break through the windows. But officials say they are currently working on doing that right now. Jinju, I also have to tell you, we have new reports right now coming from Chindo Island, or where most of the victims' families are waiting to hear any new word, that officials there have just begun taking DNA samples of the relatives of the victims from the sunken ferry. Now, the DNA samples will help officials identify the bodies later this week. Now, on to more news from this Saturday morning. The captain of the ship has been arrested early today. The captain and 2 other crew members are actually in custody right now and have been formally charged. The 68-year-old Lee Jun-suk is charged with 5 counts. Now, these include charges of negligence and a violation of a ship crew law, which requires crew to remain on the ship until all passengers escape. Now, you can see the cabin's face here after leaving a court hearing early this morning. Not this video, but he spoke to reporters here, and he says that he told people to evacuate the capsized vessel. Now, if you can hear the captain speaking, let's go to the soundbite.
퇴선 명령 내리셨어요?
네.
승객들한테도 내리셨어요?
네. 불릴 때 있던 게 아니라 그 항로 지시하고 잠시 침실에 볼일에서 잠시 갔다 오는 사이에 그렇게 된 겁니다.
And there you hear it. Here the captain is basically saying it wasn't his fault that the ship had tipped over. And earlier he clearly said yes, he did tell passengers to evacuate. But as we've continually heard from surviving passengers, they say they never heard those orders. Mark and Jinju.
Yeah, we must remember that the captain, any captain in fact, is completely responsible for the ship, for the safety of the passengers and the actions of his crew. And if it's proven, in fact, that he abandoned the passengers, that is utterly reprehensible.
Right. It wasn't just the captain facing the law. There were 2 more crew members charged and arrested. Any details about them?
Well, Jinju, what we know right now is that one of them is a 25-year-old third mate with the surname Park. Now, she was reportedly at the helm of the ferry when it sank. Now, another crew member in custody right now is a 55-year-old man of the surname Cho. Now, all of these crew members were apparently the first ones to escape the sinking ferry.
Now, Connie, we've heard countless stories and we've seen lots of mobile videos taken by surviving passengers that showed people staying inside this sinking ship.
Yes, actually, and there's new video, Mark, that came out today that shows passengers staying put inside their cabins, even though the ship was clearly severely listing. Now, you see here in this amateur video, passengers passing out life vests, and some of them already wearing them. Now, passengers say they thought about evacuating the ship earlier, but because the announcement from the ship's crew told them to stay put, that's exactly what they did. Now, that's all I have for you right now from the newsroom. I'll be back later for more updates.
Thank you, Connie, for that.